Since many years ago, people drew various pictures. Starting from wall paintings inside caves, people drew anything that showed their daily life or what they wanted to get. In modern times, many of the painters drew what they wanted to express and what or how they thought about several things. Also, making crafts started early. Since tools were necessary for people to survive, making daily necessities and drawing or decorating them developed. Our team is going to explain about Korea's traditional paintings and crafts. Traditional crafts and drawings may seem too old or not that trendy, but still many of them are recognized as being fancy and at the same time simple. Let's start with places related to traditional art.
Our ancestors usually drew the scenery and about people's lifestyle. There was people who drew the lifestyle about rich people and people who drew the lifestyle about common people. I will tell you about the picture that shows the common people's lifestyle. There was the famous artist who drew the common people's lifestyle called Kim Hong-do. He showed specifically about them. First, there is a picture called Sonang. I will show you the picture. Sadang is the school that children learn Chinese characters and sentences. But not only those, they learn the attitude to adults at there too. Aged from 7 to 16 children usually go there. The noblemen made their house to school and teach their village children. Second, there is a picture called Shirim. Shirim is the traditional wrestling in Korea. I will show you the picture. Common people usually played it at the large place at their village. Many people watched the play together and cheered them. So not only common people, noblemen watched it too. It was the interesting sight for people. You can see the person who is selling something at here. Like this, there was the people who is selling something at here to people. This people is selling the Korea's traditional food called yot. It is our traditional candy. In conclusion, by looking at the paintings, we can see our ancestors' lifestyle.
The Korean traditional illustrations and designs are all well known for its outstanding beauty and significance. One of the locations that you can visit to observe these Korean traditional art is the Hoam Art Museum. Located in Yongin, the Gyeonggi province, the Hoam Art Museum is a private museum that was constructed by the orders of the first chairman of Samsung. It was also officially opened to the public on April 22nd, 1982, containing traditional art that was collected by the chairman for approximately 30 years. The purpose of the construction and the reason why it was released to the public was in order to influence the citizens with these beautiful arts, and it was to let them analyze the true values of Korean traditional arts. In addition, through this opportunity, people could learn from these precise traditional designs and make connections with our current society. In other words, by showing this true beauty and substantial aspects of our Korean traditional art, which are preserved in best conditions, people can relate this in diverse ways and think more influentially. The museum itself preserves Korean traditional art in best conditions as well. However, you can also find the beauty of our Korean traditional landscapes. The garden that is located inside of the museum preserves the most fundamental and original sites of a Korean traditional garden. And it also dates back to a long time ago. So during these days, it is extremely rare to identify and find these landscapes and significance of old designs. But in this museum, the Korean traditional gardens are really viewable. However, the Koam Art Museum, you'll be able to find also traditional beauty of our arts as well as gardens, regardless of the time period.
Hi, my name is Jian, and today I'm going to tell you about the Korean traditional crafts. Korea has many traditional crafts which has been inherited from our ancestors. Today, I'm going to talk about Korean traditional paper hanji and hanji crafts. Korean traditional paper which is called hanji. This is hanji. To make hanji, we have to boil the paper mulberry and peel it, and then mash the peel and mix it with several different ingredients. And lastly, mix it with sticky glue and make it flat and dry it. It hurts very simple process, but to make high quality paper, it took a lot of effort. Hanji is tough and it has excellent warmth and ventilation. It allows for good flow of the wind and absorbs and exhales the moisture, so it does not tear when it dry and lasts a long time. The excellence of the hanji can be found in the words basswood block prints found with scrolls at Seokgatab in Bulguksa Temple, which is located in Gyeongju. Even though it was more than 1,300 years past, its shape and contents were very well preserved. So, with such excellence, hanji was used in various ways in the past in our ancestors' daily lives for various purposes, such as attaching them in the doors to block the wind and keep the warmth, or they made a book with hanji or painting on it. Also, they made pretty household items such as sewing boxes and lanterns with colored hanji. The reason why paper crafts have developed so diversity is that they are easy to carry and recycle waste products. So even though it is already used hanji, we can recycle it into another product. Also, the texture and the color are very various. So we can use the colored hanji to make products, and it has been combined with our ancestor spirits, and the hanji's tough and soft texture is combined and have been rooted through the hands of women as excellent traditional crafts. Thank you for listening.
Unlike the past, which seemed like our country's painting and crafting way was the best and whole thing, now different and various types of art had appeared. But that doesn't mean that our tradition had been taken over the place by it. I want to tell you about 2 types of ways to meet our traditional art. First way is to meet it intact. We can meet our traditional art easily than we think, like Seoul Craft Museum and Seoul Craft Museum. You can find some traditional art museums nearby, and also we can find them in some annual local festivals too. The second way is to meet them together with other types of art. We live in present, not the past. So if you're not the people who are interested in traditional art, you might feel it unfamiliar and hard to understand. That's why I'm going to tell you this. Last month in Insadong, Culture Festival and Asia Hotel Fair Collaboration Festival was held. Like this. And also you can go to the Daejeon Aju Art Museum to see traditional and modern together.
Like what we talked until now, we firstly talked about lifestyles of rich people and common people with pictures through where they were. There was only an opportunity for rich men to study because common people have to spend their time to do agriculture things, to live a life. And even they had time, the cost of books was so expensive that they cannot afford. In addition, common people could not be a high-ranked officer due to their status. Only who had a high status could be a high-ranked officer. And we also talked about museum where we can see the lifestyle of old people and Korean traditional paper. Lastly, we told you the place where you can find Korean traditional things easily. I hope you do visit one day after pandemic. Thank you for listening.